Hello, folks. Welcome to the second part of the podcasting. Um, uh, Podcasting with Magdalena. Hello, world. Podcasting with Magdalena. I'm sorry. uh, and as I've been saying, I decided to do this podcasting in two parts since I'm without internet the most of the time and many other aspects. So I'm using right now my own personal experience on the journey and what I'm experiencing and how I'm seeing, these energies here around me and in the environment, how they are reflecting and playing themselves out. So this part two, I decided it will be about Sagittarius and Jupiter in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is actually, the sage, the energy that is actually blending two different aspects and is in the polarity with the Gemini. And also, I could say that Gemini is our left brain, and Sagittarius is our right side of the brain. So practically, what we are experiencing right now, or dealing with it, is a blending two different aspects of our lives. I can also say that. We have to understand our material experience and also our spiritual life. These both are going hand in hand together. You know, I'm sure you heard the saying that we are actually a spiritual being having a physical experience. So the way I'm seeing this here is that, how our soul and our spirits are coming in to create our understanding, and so they can understand what it means to live in a physical body, and you know uh, the different laws that are applying here. Yes, it is very difficult to live in the physical body because we are actually facing an enormous amount of challenges. And as I've been talking about in the previous, or in part one, about the karma and the energetic bank account, this here is applying actually to the same rule. Um, because you know uh, we still have to live by the rules. We can actually do the way we want it, and have a live with the consequences. That was the whole sharing what I was trying to go into the karmic experience. Okay, it is a blend of these two aspects. I wrote actually quite a bit down today before I decided, to record the podcasting. So it is to blend those two aspects that bring us together, and it says that if we don't obey, we create a reaction to our action, and it's look like our bank account. And when we take out all the funds, there's nothing left over, and we are facing bankruptcy, energetic bankruptcy. So I'm kind of comparing this right now to the situation what we are sensing, experiencing actually in the banking system. That's what I said actually in the last podcasting. And so practically, all these irresponsible actions are related to our shadow aspect, and behavior. Um, I actually, as been mentioning that I'm reading this book, German book, when the kosmische Gerichtsvollzieher kommt. She's talking about one movie, I think from 1943, A Game is Over. And she mentioned a very interesting aspect there that, when we cross over to the other side and we plead, we would like to come back, we will come back with the same behavior pattern, and we would actually not be able to correct. We will make the same mistakes, and that's so true. The only way of what we can change is by being willing to correct our behavior, and that is what my whole these two parts of the podcasting is actually pointing to it, that in order for us to change, to correct the path, we have to really work on changing the pattern and correct the path. Otherwise, we are gonna repeat our life, one lifetime after another, a same mistake, and then we are blaming God or Creator for our mistakes and waiting to be saved. That is the most important part to recognize. We cannot wait for the God or the Savior. It's our job to correct our doing. As they say, there is no free ticket or pass. Everything has a price, folks. And I've been talking right now to the rest of the couple of months. I'm constantly repeating myself, how intense the constellations are, and how incredible painful experiences people experiencing. And I'm not quite sure how many people are actually asking the whole new question when they are facing these situations. Because if we are asking only the question for the physical body, folks, we are not getting, or for material world, we are not going to get answers. And this is the whole blending of working with the Sagittarius and Gemini energy. That, recognizing all the energies, these or actually frequencies that are right now blending, and how they are intervening and mixing together. And some of them are easier, some of them are harder. And that's actually the confusion by a lot of people, is when they say, well, I'm doing all this good stuff, and I'm still experiencing so much pain and injustice and all this thing. For us to do the correction, it takes sometimes quite it takes quite a long time, until these threads of energies unwind, because we are even not aware, folks, how much are we threaded or blended or mixed with other people's energies, with other people's interference. So that is sometimes where we have to become a little more patient and not be willing to give up what's really going on. Another thing is what I'm always kind of saying also, as we are actually looking at the world situation today, and play the game, or see the way the game is getting kind of played. And the game is, as I always saying, it's not in the best interest of the humanity. We have so many players that they are really playing from the point of greed and of bullying without understanding the consequences. And they are not they are not paying attention to what is really going on, and so people are actually losing more and more money, losing their grounding in the material world, folks. That is something that I've been talking for quite a bit. That we really have to find our own space in the creation. Okay, otherwise we are just losing more and more our energy, and the more you are losing your energy, the more you are losing your space in the material world. This is it. It's about your essence, and that is something that we cannot just take it so lightly. So it should be more contemplated about this idea. So what is it? You know, so as I said, there've been a lot of abuse here, and abuse from the game player. So what does that mean for all of us? That means we have our own personal karma and collective. And it means we all have to participate and keep the bank account or karma in balance. As I've been talking about in the last show too, is that a lot of people always say, well, there's not much I can do about it. Well, that's not true. Think about it. People think that we have to do sometimes big thing. What if we just start with the small thing, and do the next one, and then do the next one, and do the next one? Because the more we are giving away our own personal energy, folks, the more we will have to work our butts to keep ourselves alive here. And this whole experience is not about checking out this from this plane, but to come into experience. Because I'm sure you heard and read about that. When you are not in your physical body, in an energetic form, you cannot experience stuff where you need your body. Period. So this is what we are really looking here for: is that experiencing ourselves in the physical body, so that we can gain energetic imprinting, that you can, when you move further, on your different planes, you have this energetic imprinting that can actually almost look like an energetic code. Okay, it's like when you're doing the programming for the computer and stuff, so you know how to do the coding, or use the coding, not do the coding, use the coding. The same here is that this whole mess that we are experiencing right now is because we did not step into our own full experience. We just kind of stood on the side. We've been more on the sideways, and oh my God, this is very interesting. The word "play small" comes in it, and that is also very true. True, that we've been happy with just this or that. It has nothing to do with having more, folks. It has to do what is needed for our own personal experience. Okay, if we go back maybe 100 years or so, I constantly say that people were much more intelligent. They had much more knowledge and wisdom, and they've been playing a much harder game than what we are doing today. We today are playing a very superficial game, folks, and I would say it shows in so many aspects.